bilateral meetings with the Zambian minister, and some of the discussions we had was how can we bring together, our comparative advantage in tourism. Because what was really important to us in the Branding Africa process is that Africans need to collaborate, because each and every country has its own unique tourism products and offerings, and it's not in the discussion for us to compete against each other, but to see how we can complement each other's tourism sector. And so those discussions were taken at a bilateral level. We had meetings with the UN Tourism Regional Director for Africa, and some of the discussions we had, was to see how UN tourism can engage better with, Sierra Leone as a tourist destination, and as also a country that can accommodate, MICE tourism, how they can engage with us better to start to compete for some of these opportunities that exist out there. And so UN Tourism has started the discussions with us. We even have discussed about mentoring, about education. We spoke about also some sort of advocacy within the tourism space that we have in terms of protection, in terms of preservation, and in terms of conservation. So those discussions were held with UN Tourism, and they have expressed a very strong commitment to hold a few conferences in Sierra Leone in the near future. We also had discussions with the Zambian Minister of Tourism, and we're exploring the possibility of having joint meetings as well as having exchange programs. We discussed extensively, again, looking at the comparative advantage, and although we are also aware of the connectivity problems and connectivity issues, but we have started the discussions as to how we can invite Zambian tourists here, and also Sierra Leoneans can go to Zambia as well, because our seasons complement each other. When it's the rainy season in Zambia, it's our tourist season here, and they're more than happy for us to continue the discussion. So our tour operators will be in touch with their tour operators to develop packages. So that's one concrete outcome of the meeting with the Minister of Tourism of Zambia. We also had discussions with the Ministry of Tourism of Congo. We have been also invited to a cultural event next year. We're also looking at what sorts of cultural strands and cultural fusion we can have within our country as well as the DRC. And we're also expecting both ministers here before the end of the year, because we're also hosting a conference. We also had the meeting with the general manager will also have an opportunity to elaborate further on the meeting that we held with the regional director for Africa. Our discussions also include several layers of